Hey everybody, I am back in the studio, Creekside Gospel Music Convention, day 3. And I've got here on the couch, not with Fouch.
Yeah.
You ever heard of couch on the
Yeah.
Fouch on the couch? Yeah. This is the couch, but we don't have any Fouch. So this is just on the couch in the studio with Lance Driskell.
There you go. That's it. That was easy. At least you got my name right.
I know.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great.
I'm going to talk to you like I haven't seen you in a long
That's
time,
fine.
even though I've seen you all day.
Yeah, we've been talking a
How
little
you
bit.
been?
I've been good. How's Bob and them? Oh, I just saw her too.
Oh gosh! So you just came off the stage.
I did.
Yeah, and I was trying to get in there to see you, and somebody came up and said, "Oh, can I get an interview?" It's like, yeah.
That's all right. You didn't miss much.
Oh, I'm
didn't
sure
miss
I
much.
did. What'd you sing?
I sang my latest release, A New Thing,
Mhm.
and then I sang He's Still There,
Yeah,
and then I closed with the kind of a stolen rocking version of Victory in Jesus.
that's all right. That song is amazing.
You can do it either
will
way you want to do it.
Be around forever.
I got 2 or 3 versions of it.
Yeah.
And they all work. So.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So what's been going on with Lance Driskell music in 2021?
Oh, just a bunch of blessings.
Yeah.
A bunch of the Lord's been extremely good to me. I have had some great dates, some great concerts, and I think one of the biggest things for me personally is we were allowed. You invited me to write
Ah.
with you and Mark Nairmore,
Mm-hmm.
and that has just been. I'm still on cloud 9 from that.
Well, I'm sure that's a relationship that's going to continue because he loved writing with you.
Good.
So you and him could write without me. I mean, once he gets established with you and knows it,
Well, what's amazing, I'd never done anything
Mm-hmm.
like
and you did
that.
a great job too.
I didn't know even how to come into it with ideas or anything else, but Mark came up with the title of the first song, I Love His Love,
Mm-hmm.
and it just morphed into my story,
Yeah.
and we sang it this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I have gotten nothing but just wonderful remarks from it,
That's awesome.
and it's just great, and I mean, you're responsible for that.
Nah.
You
That's
are.
your story.
It's my story. I
It's your
agree, but
story. We
you answered
wouldn't-
when you
Well.
called. So
I'm going to, it's going to be a great song. People, when you guys hear it, you're going to love it. I was going to tag you on Tina because she's your biggest
Oh,
fan.
yeah. And just so everybody knows, I think that it's going to probably go to radio in January.
Nice. Yay.
so it'll be good.
Exciting.
I think so.
I'm excited. Thank you for asking me to be a part of
Yeah,
it.
and
so.
she's this lady. She can sing a little bit, and she's going to sing on my recording of it. And Jordy's already sang on my recording of it.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
I love hanging out, here and getting to see everybody, and
Yeah.
I mean that's the best part. Singing on the big stage is awesome.
Yeah.
That's what every performer wants to do, and but the background, the backstage stuff, the small settings, in the in the mornings, the showcases, and at night midnight prayer and all that. That's
Well, I've been a little lazy on the midnight prayer, but I'll be there tonight.
in her defense, you could probably go back to the history on this page and see what she's been doing instead. Because after I went to eat last night and walked back in here, she was walking out of here from doing an interview. So she hadn't been lazy. She's been working her rear end off. So. Can we say rear end on here?
I've said worse.
Okay, good.
I have.
My mom will whip me probably for it, but it'll be all right.
Well, we need to get a video camera out because that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, getting back to I Love His Love, I'm not wanting to talk about it because I had anything to do with it. I want you to tell the story behind the reason of the song, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. The Lord has I looking back, I was actually standing at the kitchen counter before we left to come up here, and me and Erin, my wife, we were talking, and I just realized that the Lord allowed certain things in my life to go on. Now that I'm on the other side of it all, He allowed those things to continue into progress and to go on, so that I would have a story to tell.
Yeah.
I grew up in church. I started singing when I was 5. My first solo was dressed as a donkey singing "Go Tell It on the Mountain." And Erin told me I should have kept the costume because it fits most of the time. So I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know if that's the truth or not.
We'll just get you some ears.
But no, my family sang gospel music for years, and like I said, I started singing when I was 5, and just grew up with it. I grew up, going to church, Wednesday night, Sunday night,
Yeah.
Sunday morning, anytime a revival was going on, plus the Fridays and Saturdays of singing, or whatever days
If
it
the
was.
doors were open, y'all
That's
were
right.
there.
We were there, and great people from my home church of Liberty Hill Baptist Church in Thorsby, Alabama. My dad left when we were young, but other than that, Mom did her very best with us.
Yeah.
And it was no fault of anybody's that anything happened, but we get
And it's 3 boys, right?
2 boys, just
two
me and my
boys.
brother.
Okay.
May have seemed like 3 boys, I'm sure, at the time, but there's 6.5 years difference between me and Chris, so he won all the fights. But I'll get him back one day because he's getting older. He's a lot older than me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I grew up singing. I traveled full time between the years of around 1998 to 2002. That's what I did, and I sang with a regional group from South Florida or South Georgia, and then I sang with Tony Gore and Majesty for a couple of years. We traveled the nation. I got to live my dream. I got to do what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Madison and my oldest daughter, and I came off the road so I could be with her a little bit more, and try and provide for my family a little more than what I had. And we it rocked on for a little while, and what happened was that we allowed Satan into our marriage. I allowed Satan into my life.
Yeah.
And
he only needs about that much room.
that's right. Just enough to stick his foot in the door. And looking back on it all, that was the reason. But at that time, it was her fault.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was my fault. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
And 2 small girls in a small town, and it was just bad, And I started. We ended up in a divorce, and it was just a bad situation, and those nights, when I was home alone, and the first few nights, I didn't have anything to do, and instead of doing what I should have been doing, and that's developing a better relationship with the Lord, I began, just the guilt of it all made me need to medicate, so I medicated with alcohol, and it just spiraled. It's just a bad spiral, and
I like what you said this morning. You drank because of guilt, and guilt made you drink.
Yeah, and
or something
and
like
that's,
that.
That's exactly right. The guilt was just, that's what I can't put into words how guilty I felt for everything.
Yeah.
And that's the devil. He's got you.
Yeah.
He's got you
It's all your
immediately.
fault, dude. It's all your fault.
Immediately, he's got you. And so I again, I drink, and I feel guilty because I drank, and then I drink because I felt guilty.
Yeah.
And it's just back and forth, and it's just a vicious circle, and that's where you end up. In the meantime, you know, I meet Aaron. Aaron and I get married, and of course we were all friends, you know, church for years, and you know, we just all, you know, knew each other well, and we developed a friendship and then a relationship, and you know, we ended up getting married a couple of years later, and I've never been loved like she loves me.
Yeah.
It's as unconditional as it gets outside of the Savior.
Yeah.
I wish I loved her that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a hateful way.
I know exactly what you mean.
I just wish that I was that good at it. You know. But we ended up moved to Huntsville, and Huntsville, Alabama, and then we, you know, just started. I was away from everybody, and now I feel more guilty because I've left my family.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
Anyway,
you just felt like you had a big G on your back.
That's right.
It was your fault for everything.
That's right.
Or at least you thought that.
And I ended up, you know, we ended up having Parker in 2017. And, you know, that should have been some type of, hey dummy, you know, you got a second chance here, and we ended up a couple years later in 2019. I was just at the bottom, man.
Yeah.
And I had never had any type of suicidal thoughts. I never contemplated anything like that. And, but I knew that I was at the end. And I was sitting, it was a Thursday, and it had just been some really bad few days. And, you know, Aaron says, she said, I could tell where you're headed there, you know. And I wouldn't drink all the time. And then I began drinking all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just a bad deal. And March the 15th, 2019, you know, I was standing beside my bed and literally could not, physically, I was unable to take another step. I just remember standing there, and we got a big 4-post bed, and I was just kind of holding on to it, not really, but, you know, leaning on it kind of, and it hit me. It just hit me, and I was like, I can't go. Not one more step. I can't go another step. And without anything else to say, all I could do was, I just said Jesus. I audibly said it.
Yeah.
Aaron and Parker were sitting in the living room, and I just said Jesus. And it's like me and you were sitting here talking. It was like he was standing right beside me, and I heard him say, I've been waiting on you.
Oh, wow.
And from that point forward, I mean, that day, he became Lord of my life. And he gave me, I always talk about the new song. He gave me the new song. I was 4 years old, you know, just a complete change. The first thing he changed was he removed every bit of that guilt. And just as
how
much
lighter did you feel?
It's
Goodness.
just amazing.
Yeah.
That minute.
Yeah.
That minute, it was just amazing. And I, the only way that I can describe it is as much guilt as he gave me, or that I had on myself, that I gave myself, he gave me more peace than that.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, I've sang a bazillion songs talking about the peace that passes understanding.
Yeah.
The peace, the peace, the
Yeah.
peace. And I had no idea. I knew the concept.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what they were talking about. What it even meant.
Can't say that
and
anymore.
it literally washed over me.
Yeah.
And it's been that way, and the devil, he'll throw I call them little cherry bombs in there. He'll drop one over every now and then.
Yeah.
And it'll pop. And I may lay around there for a day or two. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm still that guy.
Yeah.
I'm still 100% human.
Yeah.
But it won't be long, you know, that he just says, hey, I didn't do all that for nothing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we rock on, and he, you know, there's a whole nother story kind of behind He's Still There, and the song that allowed me to come here, and then allowed me to meet you, allowed me to write the song that tells my story.
Yeah.
Who would have put that together?
Only one person.
That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
And
I mean, it's go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I'm bad about interrupting.
You're fine.
And the chorus says, "I love His love. It's never ending, all forgiving. He's always sending it down. Yeah. It doesn't matter where I've been. What does it say? It doesn't matter how big my sin, where I've been,
or
what I've done. I love His love."
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it's 100% my life. The
Yeah.
second verse says, "The peace He provided, erased by heavy weight."
Yeah.
And that is just I could just sing that part.
Yeah.
And be done.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then it's my testimony has allowed me to. I was singing a pretty long weekend a few weeks ago, and the it was a Sunday night, and I was just exhausted.
Yeah.
I'd sang 5 times in 4 days, I think, and doing the solo thing, it's a big undertaking.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of exhausted, and we sang, and I gave my testimony. I wasn't going to give my testimony because there was a time slot, and I needed to fit in the time slot.
Right.
But I kind of nixed it all, and I gave my testimony, and I went to the product table, and after it was over with, and I came out, was tearing my stuff down, and the preacher was standing there, and he said, "Old boy sitting back there in the back on the left-hand side." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, he was 2 years ago was the biggest dope head in town." He said, and he got saved, and he went to rehab, and he miraculously saved and delivered from it all. And he said he walked up to me. He said, "Old boy's got a good testimony, don't he?" And the preacher said, "Yeah, he does. He's he can sing a little bit, and he's got a fantastic testimony." He said, "Well, let me ask you a question." Well, as he was talking through all that stuff, he said, "Let me ask you a question. When do you know when you're being called to preach?"
Mm.
And he said, "I guess when you're talking to the preacher about being called to preach." and I was like, and he said, that's all he thought about while you were giving your testimony.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the devil did everything he could. He made me tired.
Yeah.
Or he allowed me to get tired.
Yeah. Or told you.
Or told me I was too tired.
Tired.
Tired little baby. Go
Yeah.
on home and sit on your pillar.
Yeah, because there's somebody there that's going to need to hear
right.
what you got to say.
And I told Erin, my wife, I think I already said that. Erin's my wife, in case y'all wondering. I told her that, I mean, all that pain and all that suffering that I put us through, and another soul put me there.
Yeah.
There was not one soul put me, not my ex-wife, not any childhood issues that I had.
Yeah.
I put myself there.
Yeah.
But he allowed me to go there, so maybe that guy surrendered to preach so that he tells somebody else.
Amen.
And who knows where it stops?
Yeah.
Who knows where it stops?
It doesn't. I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't. Man.
So, I'm full of all kinds of stuff. You know that.
I love you. I do.
But
Well,
we have become buddies, and
You have.
we eat ice cream together when y'all come through town, and you and Ward, and me and
Yeah.
Aaron, and
It's a friendship I'm thankful for.
me too.
So,
We were talking about it
you
today
know,
on the way home.
you put yourself, or you get in situations and you're like, I don't really understand this at all. And I don't mean us meeting or anything. I mean situations and circumstances that put you in the places that you go to, and sometimes you're like, I just don't understand why I'm doing this. I don't understand what's going on. And then, you step back, and if you look at it, hindsight, they always say hindsight is 20/20. I never understood that till I was older,
Sure.
But you see, the orchestration that God has provided that you don't see and understand at the time. I'll go back as even far as Ward having his stroke in 2016. I was on the road full time with another group, and not that I wanted to see him go through that or us walk through that in our life, but if that had not have taken place in 2016, I would have never left where I was, because I was pretty comfortable.
Sure.
I was pretty comfortable with what I was doing, and me leaving that led to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing that led me here. doing interviews for Scoops, because I did this for 3 years before I even stepped foot on the stage and sang. I just came and interviewed people.
Wow.
And that led to meeting you guys, and it just continues, and you just see God's hand all over it. And I was talking to somebody earlier today. I'm like, I just wish. I was talking to Tim Menzies last night. I was like, God knows what's going to happen. I just wish He'd give me a sign. He said, that ain't going to happen because He doesn't trust us with the next step.
Absolutely not.
Because we'll mess it up.
That's right.
So, I say all that to say I'm very thankful that God took us on the journey that He took us through, because we've met such wonderful people and developed such good friendships and stuff like that. And, we can take our story and we can help people, and you're definitely going to help people with your story. Because there's people in churches right now singing for the Lord, or going to church every Sunday worshiping, that they don't really know. They don't have a relationship. No. And it's very easy to fall into that. Oh, I think I'm good. I think I'm a Christian. I think I'm, I've been there too.
Yeah, I've got a thing, part of when I give my testimony, I was a fantastic Christian.
Yeah, the best, weren't you?
I checked the box.
Yeah.
When I stood on stage, we wrote us another song, had a
yeah.
little bit of this in there. But when I stood on stage, you would have never thought that inside my heart and my soul was a disaster.
Yeah.
It was a complete debacle.
Yeah.
And that's my thing, you can see the drunk when he walks in. You can see the crackhead or whatever. You see the repercussions of adultery, or you see all these things.
Right.
You see those things, but you never saw it with me.
Yeah.
And those are the people that I want to talk to.
Yeah.
The gospel artists who are dealing with things that they know they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And one of these days, it's going to come out somehow.
Yeah.
And I just hope you don't end up, in that same bottom of the barrel that I was at.
Well, the good thing is you're proof that there's another side to it, and you just gotta, you gotta have the strength and the faith to decide to do something better.
Yeah.
And and it may be rock bottom.
It could be.
Yeah. So. We hope not. Nobody likes to see anybody be on the rock bottom.
No, and anything that we can do to go on and right that ship.
Yeah.
Help people right that ship.
Yeah.
Then correct their path, whatever you want to say.
And it's not out of any kind of authority or sense of what's the word I'm looking for?
Better than kind of.
Exactly. I'm not going to take the hand of somebody and try to walk them through something because I think I'm better than them. I'm going to take their hand and walk them through it because I know exactly where they are.
That's right.
I've been there.
That's right.
So,
one thing that I've noticed is given kind of along those same lines. I've had a lot of people walk up and say, "I'm dealing with what your wife dealt with." I had somebody just the other day text me. It's actually a minister's wife, and say that I've heard your testimony. I need to, I need you to pray for me. I said, you need to talk to my wife.
Yeah, man, you and Aaron could.
You need to
totally
talk to my
have
wife. And now Aaron don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
She don't want to, but she's living proof that, you have to show grace. You have to be there. That's another thing. We alienate the people the person that I was alienated people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to look at them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know
especially
exactly
especially when they know me. Know me.
Yeah.
I alienated those folks
Yeah.
out of my life, except for Erin. She was stubborn enough to sit, and she said, "I just loved you."
Yeah.
And I love you.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
I know we didn't cut up as much as we usually do. I think we're both exhausted.
I think we're tired. Oh man, I think we're tired.
But,
and I'm just, highly emotional.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I think that it's. I think God's just He's
working.
He's about to do amazing things through a lot of folks. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I agree with
And
you.
I hope I'm dead in the middle of it.
You know what? I'm pretty sure you are going to be, Lance. I think you're going to be right. You're going to be right there flying your flag.
I hope so. I hope so. He gave me something to talk about. So.
Yeah, so.
Something good to talk about. I talk about a lot of stuff. you can't sell it for a dime, most of it.
I know, but it's funny. And
it's funny.
And we all need to laugh.
We
For
do.
that's for doggone sure. So I tagged your music page in here.
Okay.
So you guys, you need to go check out Lance. Everything they need to know to contact you, is that on that music page? Okay.
There, LanceDriskellmusic.com.
Yeah.
It's,
So
we used to have phone books. I don't think we got phone books no more.
What's
but
that?
I'll probably be in it.
Yeah.
So I just got beat with them. That's all.
I just sat on them because I was always so short.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check Lance out. I don't know why my comments, there's 7 people on there, but I don't know why my comments aren't working. I thought for sure. But anyway, I guess it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So
We'll
go
talk
check,
about it in a minute.
go check out.
Come on now.
Go check out Lance.
You see
and
you on the
his-
back a little bit.
Oh my gosh. It's time for bed, but we can't go to bed because we have midnight prayer.
So, we
Which is
decided.
going to be awesome.
That's
It's going to
right.
be awesome.
It's going to be good.
You guys go check him out. I've said that like 14 times, but I really mean it.
I feel like, what's your thoughts on putting it out there so folks can watch
I think that'd be
Midnight Prayer
awesome.
tonight?
I think that would be awesome.
Little, t-shirt.
Yeah.
Kind of, no
because,
flashy clothes,
well,
just kind of
and
comfortable.
the reason we have midnight prayer is because we need it. We need to be fed. I mean, we've been out here. Well, that's how I look at it anyway.
I agree.
We've been out here sharing ourselves and our ministry and our testimonies, and it makes for a very long day of shaking hands and talking and listening and stuff. So it's kind of our time as people that come and are a part of Creekside, artist-wise, to take a deep breath. The day's done. Let's get a little something of what we need. So
Monday night, the Pilot family.
yeah,
Man, it was just.
I bet it was good.
It was insane.
I bet it was.
And then last night, Caleb Howard preached, and 3 or 4 of us sang.
Yeah.
And it was good. And me, you, and Jessica Horton are gonna
Do something.
do what we do, which is just throw it together.
We good at that.
We're great at that. So
It's good talking to you.
it was great. Thank
Y'all
you
go
for
check
letting
out
me
Lance.
come talk to you.
Absolutely. We'll
Bye,
see y'all
everybody.
later, all right? Bye.